A video circulating on social media reportedly shows Ukrainian servicemen breaking into a captured Russian tank fitted with drone protection. Such barn tanks, also called turtles or even Blyatmobiles, after the common vulgarity used in Russian as a filler word much like the English F word. At least 2 Russian soldiers inside are seen taken prisoner, but the released video shows Ukrainian soldiers capturing the tank, raising a Ukrainian flag on it, and allegedly driving toward Ukrainian positions with the captured Russian soldiers. Previous reports indicate that this special operation to seize the Russian tank was carried out by fighters of the 22nd Separate Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, AFU. Yuri Maizayan, a Verkhovna Rada lawmaker from the Servant of the People party, released a photo on Telegram showing Ukrainian military personnel standing beside the captured Russian tank. Meanwhile, the Security Service of Ukraine, SBU, reported the destruction of 1,006 Russian tanks since the start of the Kremlin's full-scale invasion. The largest number of tanks were eliminated during fierce battles in the Donetsk and Kharkiv regions, using heavy armored vehicles. The aggressor often tried to break through the positions of the Ukrainian defenders and provide cover for the assault groups of the occupiers, the report read. According to the SBU, the Russians also deployed tank formations to attack fortified areas of the Ukrainian defense forces in the Zaporizhia region, while the SBU clarified that the destruction of Russian tanks occurred during combat operations in collaboration with units of the armed forces. A maximum arsenal of armor-piercing weapons and unmanned systems was used against the tanks. A large number of Russian armored vehicles were hit at the initial stages of the offensive before they could storm Ukrainian positions. Some tanks were destroyed along with their crews, the report added. Since early April, Russian forces have increased their use of barn tanks, covered in metal armored boxes to protect them from drone strikes. A variety of new designs have started appearing on the front lines. Andriy Yusov, a spokesperson for Ukraine's Military Intelligence Directorate, HIR, told Kyiv Post that the systematic use of these tanks, also known as turtles, has been observed during the latest Russian offensive in the Kharkiv region and near Chasiv Yar in the Donetsk region, where intense fighting continues. These modified tanks began to appear as Ukraine expanded its use of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAV, or drones. Yusov said that Ukraine's first-person view, FPV, drones have been particularly effective at destroying enemy personnel and equipment. The 68th Jaeger Brigade, a veteran formation of the Russo-Ukrainian War, shared a video Sunday also on Facebook showing the destruction of a Russian tank company in eastern Ukraine. Nazar Voloshin, the spokesman for the Kortitsia grouping of forces, told the state-run news agency Ukrinform that the video's authentic. In the Pokrovsk axis, our defense forces destroyed 8 Russian tanks and put 2 more out of order. That's 10 in total. This makes up a tank company, Voloshin said. Voloshin said that in the same sector, Ukrainian troops destroyed 8 more armored fighting vehicles, 2 artillery systems, and 4 other vehicles, along with damaging another. Our Ukrainian defenders did a good job yesterday, the spokesman added. On the other hand, Ukrainian forces also destroyed a cutting-edge Russian radar worth an estimated $25 million in a drone attack this week, Kyiv's military said. The Special Operations Forces, SSO, one of the 5 branches of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, released footage of a combat operation that showed its troops targeting a Russian R416GM, Granite M, digital radio relay communications station. Russia's military began using the R416GM in 2018. It was designed to enhance the efficiency of radio relay communication units in field conditions, the SSO said. The aerial footage shows the relay station and the moment it was struck by a drone, causing an explosion, fire, and thick plumes of smoke. Operations personnel from the 3rd Separate Special Purpose Regiment identified a Russian R416GM digital radio relay station while performing operations on one of the fronts, the SSO said, sharing footage of the operation on its social media channels. Our operatives attacked the enemy target using one of the latest developments recently supplied to the Special Operations Forces, the SSO added. Due to their accurate fire, the R416GM station was disabled, disrupting communication between the command post and the terrorist army units. The footage was also shared by Ukraine's Defense Ministry on X, formerly known as Twitter. For the first time in the history of this war, R416GM, a modern Russian mobile communication station, was destroyed by its SOF_UKR operators. A day earlier, Ukraine's military reported that its forces destroyed at least 2 S-300, S-400 Russian air defense radar systems in Crimea. Independent Russian outlet Astra reported on its Telegram channel on Wednesday, citing regional emergency services sources, that a Ukrainian strike using US-supplied missiles on a key Russian military airbase in annexed Crimea struck 2 air defense systems and a radar. A US-based think tank assessed this week that Kyiv may be conducting an effort aimed at degrading Russian air defenses ahead of anticipated F-16 fighter jet deliveries to Ukraine. If this push is successful, it could enable Ukraine to more effectively leverage manned fixed-wing air power in the long run, the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, said in its latest analysis of the conflict in Ukraine on Wednesday. Kyiv's forces may seek to actively degrade Russian air defenses before Ukraine receives a significant number of aircraft, in order to set conditions for Ukraine's future use of manned fixed-wing air power closer to frontline areas. Ukrainian forces may be able to eventually work towards a concept of operations that combines fixed-wing air power to support ground operations if the Ukrainian military receives a sufficient number of fighter jets, Western partners train enough trained pilots, and if Ukraine succeeds in degrading Russian air defense capabilities, the ISW added.
Armata!